What's going on? This is your favorite speaker, Britton Harvest. Hashtag breadcrumbs. Hashtag random acts of kindness. RAK. I want to speak to you all tonight and I want to tell you something. But what it is I have to tell you, I do not mean this in a literal sense. You must be willing to die. The old version of you must die in order for you to become what it is you were meant to become. You cannot carry that old person into this new life. It's 2018. That old version of you does not belong here anymore. It has reached a pit stop. And at this pit stop, you must decide the person that I'm trying or willing to become, the old me can no longer come to that place. So you have to say to yourself, I have a date with destiny. The person that I am supposed to be is bigger than the person that I was. So the person that I was must die in order for me to become who it is I was meant to be. You can't continue to carry those old thoughts into 2018. You can't continue to think the same way that you thought 3-4 years ago. You're supposed to always be growing as a person. And by growing as a person, the old you must die. It's no different than a caterpillar. To the butterfly, the caterpillar is dead. You have to continue to grow. You have to continue to push yourself. You have to continue to expand your consciousness. And the only way to do that, you have to read new books. You have to think different thoughts. You have to hang around different people. You should not hang around the same people you were hanging around 10, 15 years ago if they have not grown. Because if they haven't grown, you haven't grown. They still have the same mentality at 42 that they had at 22. And by having the same mentality, they've wasted 10 years of their life. 10 years that they will never get back because they didn't want to grow. They were comfortable. They placed limitations on themselves. And by placing limitations on yourself, you will never grow. And you're going to look up and 10 years been and passed you by and you wonder why don't nobody fool with you anymore. That time has been wasted. It's no different than a river that flows. Once you touch a certain point in that river, you will never be able to touch that same point again. That water has flown upstream. That time is gone. That time that you wasted 10 years of your life, that time is gone. You will never be able to get that time back. So why are you continuing to live in the past? You are no longer that person. That person is dead to you. That person no longer resides in 2018. That person does not have a place of residence in you anymore. You have grown, you have matured, and you deserve better. Because once you evolve as a person, you realize the person that you used to be must die. It's not a bad thing. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to grow. Because that's what they're going to tell you. He's changed. Or she's changed. You're supposed to change. I deserve to change. I owe it to myself to change. I didn't sit up here and study as much as I'm studying and not want to change. I knew that I was better than I was. And by being better than I was, I pushed myself. And by pushing yourself, you're going to find out more and more things about you that you didn't even know. Things that were probably lying dormant in you, you're going to find out about yourself. You're going to be like, dang, I didn't even know I liked that. Or dang, I didn't even know I liked to read. Or dang, I didn't even know I liked listening to this or listening to that. You know what? You're going to learn that positivity outweighs negativity all day long. You're going to find yourself in a different circle. You're not going to be around drama anymore because the old version of you is dead. And the people that are looking for that old version of you, if they want to go back there and try to resurrect it, let them be. But you are on to bigger and better things. And by being on to bigger and better things, you are thinking new thoughts. Your consciousness has expanded. And once a consciousness has expanded, it will no longer, I repeat, it will no longer go back to its original form. You have people that are living in the past talking about, well, I used to do this and I used to do that. Well, newsflash, used to be's don't make any honey. So if those people want to continue to live in the past, let them live in the past. But you're no longer there. You don't reside there anymore. When you was there in the past, they were comfortable with you. They liked the fact that you did not push yourself. They liked the fact that you were not trying to stretch as a person. They liked the fact that 2-3 years later, you're still the same person that they knew growing up. But all of a sudden, once you say, you know what, I'm not happy with the person that I am. And I know there is so much more for me out there. And I know I am so much more of a person that I am exhibiting right now. Now all of a sudden, you're making them uncomfortable. Now all of a sudden, they're looking at you different. And they're supposed to. You're supposed to change. You're an infinite being. You have infinite possibility within you. There is nothing in you that you cannot do unless you tell yourself that you can't do it. We are our biggest enemies. It's not what people say outside of us. It's what we tell ourselves that actually holds us back. See, you are exactly what it is that you're telling yourself at this particular moment. Everything around you, your reality, is a reflection of your consciousness. And whatever it is that you tell yourself, that's what it is that you manifest. So if you have self-doubt, if you have low self-esteem, if you don't believe you deserve a certain position at your job, if you don't believe you can go out here and create your own business, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to do it. You're going to believe everything that you're telling yourself. And it's not until you learn to train your thoughts and quit entertaining negative thoughts and you say to yourself, I can do whatever it is that I want to do. I can be whoever it is that I want to be. And you affirm that each and every day that you wake up. You start manifesting your reality. People around you start changing. And people around you notice that you've changed. They're supposed to know that you've changed because you're no longer that person. You're so much more than that. Their opinions of you are not your reality. It's only what you tell yourself that's your reality. Until you start telling yourself that I deserve better, until you start telling yourself that I deserve a promotion, until you start telling yourself I'm supposed to be a boss, only then will you start living that way. But you have to train your thoughts. That's why I do these videos. I do these videos to help you train your thoughts. I had to train my thoughts. I had to reprogram myself. I was residing and living and working off of the old operating system. I did not update my operating system. And because I didn't update my operating system, I was still operating on old software. And because I was operating on old software, I was getting viruses. It wasn't until I realized that it is 2018. It wasn't until I realized that my mind is a supercomputer. It wasn't until I realized that I needed to update myself. And once I started updating myself, my reality changed. It's amazing how that works. It's amazing how once you start programming your thoughts, because if you don't program your thoughts will be programmed. So if you don't start saying to yourself, instead of taking in negative programming or negative television or negative music, if I learn to train my thoughts, you mean to tell me I can manifest my reality and become whatever it is that I want to become? Yes. It will not be easy, ladies and gentlemen. But the person that you are becoming is worth it. You deserve it. You've worked too hard. You only get one chance at life. So you might as well make the best of it. And while you are growing as a person, you're going to infect other people around you. And they're going to start wanting to grow. Now all of a sudden you got a circle of people that are constantly challenging each other to become better versions of themselves. That's a beautiful feeling when your circle is tight. There's a beautiful feeling when your circle is strong. There's a beautiful feeling when your circle is constantly going out to try and attain more knowledge. Because once all of you grow, that means all of you become successful. And if all of you become successful, that's more tentacles out there that can go out and pass that knowledge on to other people so that they can become successful. That's what Random Acts of Kindness is all about. It's not about just us. It's not about just me. It's about everybody that we are around. We want you to be just as good, if not better than us, and vice versa. Because we're no better than you. That's why whatever knowledge that I have, I pass it on. There's no reason for me to hold on to it. Whatever it is that I know, you will know. Because the same way that I went out and I acquired it, you can do the same thing. It's not mine to keep. I am just a vessel. I am being used. And I'd rather use myself in a positive light and be a beacon of hope instead of using myself in a negative light and causing people to not have any high self-esteem, causing people to think that they should not live to be beyond the age of 21 because their relatives died at a young age. I want them to say, you know what? I can be whatever it is that I want to be. All I have to do is train my thoughts. And by training my thoughts, I begin to manifest my reality. It's not hard. We just make it hard. I am your favorite speaker, Britton Harvest. Hashtag breadcrumbs. Hashtag random acts of kindness, RAK. It's all about positivity. It's all about love. I'm out.